Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. And I'm your host. And today I'm going to be showing you a video I recorded during the last update. I just did not think this was as good as some of the other premium ship reviews that I was putting out in the last update. But since this update, jury's still out on the Kronstadt, and not really in love with that thing based on what I've seen of it. So I decided to use this update to put out some footage that didn't make it to air in order to bring you fresh content. Also anticipating I might have to do a walkthrough of the Halloween mission, because those are some of my most watched videos ever. The Light in the Dark and the other one, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. Although I do want to say I'm kind of flabbergasted that my video from last week, the Bow Tanking Menace Lenin video, whether accidentally or on purpose, is one of my most watched videos of all time. So thank you all for watching. And I'm sure most of those people aren't back here watching this one. But that being what it is. So we're here on, I think this is Greece. Yep, we're here on Greece. We're top tier. There is a failed platoon, including a Farragut on the other team. That seems to me to be especially dumb. I do want to mention I have the wrong legendary skill selected. Ordinarily in a Scharnhorst, I would have Fight Fire with Fire selected, but I was probably playing this commander on some lower tier ships like the Mackinson or the Bayern, and so I did not remember to switch it over to Fight Fire with Fire. Because like most German warships, the Scharnhorst has a tendency to catch on fire. Now, when you're top tier, you can get away with having Will to Rebuild on. It is a very overpowered skill. So certainly I couldn't blame you if you did. But when you're down tier in this thing, everyone is going to be setting you on fire. The HE spam will be tremendous. And so you really need to remember, unlike me, to switch it to Fight Fire with Fire. And really, since you don't know before you start the battle, it really doesn't make sense to not have Fight Fire with Fire on your commander. So just double check that before you leave the port. Don't be like me. Alright, got a Heinrich out there. We're going to fling a couple shells at him. Rear turret coming around. So you got 2 turrets in the front, 1 turret in the rear, total of 9 rifles or gun barrels, if you would. I think rifles is probably the technical term. It's a rifled barrel, ergo it is a rifle. And, your standard German stuff here. You've got torpedoes, so for the higher tier German ships, that's pretty standard. You've got strong secondaries, that's pretty standard. Accuracy leaves a little bit to be desired, that's pretty standard. So yeah, this ship is very flexible. I consider it a battlecruiser. It can do a lot of stuff, but it can't, bow in and bow tank and do the things that a heavily armored Russian ship or maybe a French ship could do. It just can't do that. And, let's really be frank, the Gneisenau is a better ship. All right. Here we got a destroyer Fubuki wandering a little too close to the sun. We focus our secondaries on him. We shoot at him. We engage our secondary charge. And although we're doing damage to him, he runs behind the island. We're not going to be able to finish him off. But I do see a kill pinch out there, the Prinz Heinrich, and we'll shoot our front battery at him. And kill pinch unleashed. Kill number 1. Alright, looking around, here is a York turning to get the battery's face towards him. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing? Don't I have torpedoes? He's shooting torpedoes at me. Thankfully, by turning quickly, we avoid his torpedoes. And you can see the secondary is still going off at the destroyer. We are going to skirt by him, get the Die Hard medal, and use his corpse as a way to block the other torpedoes from the Fushun, or the Fubuki, pardon me, who is killed off by somebody else. Unfortunately, we were whittling him down, may have been able to get a double strike there. All right, we'll redirect our attention to the Bayern. You know, I just want to say a long time ago, those of you who played this game for a long time will remember there was a skill called Barely Out of Peril. It was a first row skill on base commanders, and it increased your ramming damage dealt by 80% and reduced the ramming damage you took by 40%. And Wargaming removed it probably after the first year of the game. And I tell you that I missed that skill, and I wish they would put it back in. Not saying I would have used it in this video in this circumstance, but I think it should be an option, and I think I would use it on several ships. Definitely any battleship where I'm running the base commander. All right, so we're pot-shotting at people right now. You know, looking at the scoreboard here, we got 2 of the 3 base caps. We have a 1-ship kill lead. We've killed off all of the enemy destroyers, even though they started with 1 more destroyer than our team. Great balance. We've killed them both off, so our team is doing good. We're set up for victory here. All we got to do is carry it out here in the Scharnhorst. All right, so another kill pinch is out there for me to acquire. The Bayern, little too far away, and he gets killed off. Flint, definitely a strong cruiser for those of you who like cruisers. Flint has heals, so US guns plus heals. Flint is a dangerous ship. Easily dodging those torpedoes there. We are putting our batteries towards the Flint and hoping he continues on that kind of heading. We fire all 3 turrets and punish the Flint with a hit to Citadel there. And I feel very confident, if my teammates are as incompetent as I hope they are, which they aren't, that we'll be able to finish off the Flint. Adjusting our aim a little bit, shots go out. And there goes the Flint for our 3rd kill. Alright, got a Fuso over here. 1 of 2 ships left on the board. The other one is on the other side of the map. So we're probably not going to have a chance to engage them. Just checking my main battery range again there. Front 2 turrets at the Fuso. We dodge some Flint torpedoes, thankfully. And our salvo hit. And we're going to keep moving towards the Fuso, keep maintaining this bow on profile. You know, folks, I was in some matches today being the day that I recorded the voiceover for this video, and I see blue team ships going side by side with enemy ships from like 6 or 7 kilometers away, you know, going parallel to them. Don't do that. Just bow on. Just use your front 2 turrets. If they're going broadside, you're going to damage them. They're not really going to damage you. More hits on the Fuso, not very impressive. Fuso is taking some damage off screen there. Continues to take off screen damage. Our secondaries kick in, although they are not getting, well, they're doing hits, but they're not setting them on fire or anything. But here goes 1 more salvo. And again, that doesn't really do anything. And the X turret, but we burn him down with our secondaries to end the match. Alright, so here we are on the victory screen. Close quarters expert medal, die hard medal. Love getting a die hard medal. We ended with 103,146 total damage. We had 4 kills, 1 solo base cap, and 70 secondary battery hits. We ended up with 728,129 silver. That's a pretty good haul. 11,000 plus ship XP, 2845 green XP, almost 19.5 commander XP. And Fubuki, good job, top of the board. We were second, 2706 base XP with those 4 big kills. We managed to get that enemy Fubuki killed off, get out a crack in there. but we did not. Don't know I hit that. Anyway, here are the upgrades. Went with secondary battery mod 2, damage control system mod 2, and concealment system mod 1. Taking a look at the loadout, 3 charges of the repair party, 5 charges of the enhanced secondary targeting consumable. We ran all of the epic flags and then the common battle booster for speed. Got this Type 9 permanent camouflage, and of course the legendary birthday flag. 56,300 hit points and a 22% torpedo damage reduction with our build. Got those 3x3 283 millimeter turrets. Firing range 17.9 kilometers, 20-second reload, 25-second turn time. HE shells just 3,200 damage with a 20% fire chance. Armor-piercing shells 7,600 damage. You have not 1, not 2, but 3 sets of secondaries. The range of all 3 is 7.1 kilometers. First set reloads in 3.1 seconds, some 7x2 105s. They do 1,200 HE shell damage with a 5% fire chance. The second 2 sets are 150s in different arrangements. They reload every 6.9 seconds and do 1,700 HE shell damage with an 8% fire chance. This is why I really wouldn't recommend going all out into the secondaries, although we kind of did. But that second set of secondaries reload and the third set is just too long. Torpedoes, didn't really get to use these. 2 triple tube launchers, max damage 13,700, 6 kilometer range at 64 knots, and 1,300 meters detectability. Definitely a good up-close weapon. AA defense, you can see, like most German ships, doesn't go more than 4.5. Here we got 4.7 as the max range. You can defend yourself, but don't expect to be doing California levels of AA damage there. Maneuverability, 30.9 knots, 800 meter turning circle, 15.2 second rudder shift time. Concealment, 12.6 on the surface, 10.5 from the air, 10.7 when firing in smoke. As a reference, I got my stealth Yamato down to 12.6, so just FYI. All right, taking a look at your Citadel. It appears to be some sort of a turtleback. You do have an armor belt of 70 millimeters running to the front of the bow, 25 millimeter plating above and below that. You have a 32 millimeter torpedo side plate, and then the start of a 260 millimeter armor belt below the waterline there. Turrets and barbettes, well, this looks like the Bismarck. Barbettes are a little bit more heavily armored, but the roofs of these turrets are lightly armored. They will get knocked out. Casemate, you can see armor belt continuing up the side of the ship, and that is the armor view of the Scharnhorst. I would say it is not very strong armor profile, but it does have some nice features. All right, here's our commander, Jean-Luc pickup. Used him to get those extra secondary charges. Base trait does not have any effect in the match because we're not using a spotter plane. I wish they would have swapped it around with the unique skill in row 2, but whatever. So you got to choose when you're using Jean-Luc pickup if you're going to build into secondaries or build into that spotter plane. And if you do, maybe King Kong or somebody like that might be a better inspiration. We used Haruna as ours, if I'm remembering all that correctly, by the way, about King Kong. I don't have that commander. Anyway, that's how we built out the Scharnhorst. Should have used Fight Fire with Virus I mentioned in the narrative, but that is what it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this 4-kill game in the Scharnhorst. If you did, hit that like button. I'll see you on the next video.